Yo, what's going on, guys? Cruiser Hoops back on the video, and today, we're gonna go over some trades to fix the LA Clippers. All right, so first up, we got a trade between the Nets and the Clippers. So I got Paul George going to this one's been actually circulating a little bit on the internet, but we got Paul George going to the Nets for Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, and a top 10 protected first round pick and a second round pick. Now, the pick situation is up for grabs, all right? But I do not think the Clippers would accept a trade if it was Dinwiddie, LeVert, and Torian Prince instead of Jared Allen. And that is because obviously the Clippers need a center. And if Montrezl Harrell leaves the team, then they'll need a backup center. Jared Allen's a perfect fit. Now, pick situation, like I said, is up for grabs. First round pick, top 10 protected, might be a little too much. So maybe we could throw in like 2 more seconds instead of the first instead. But I think this is a pretty fair value for Paul. So next up, we actually got a 3-team deal with the Pelicans, the Clippers, and the Sixers. So first of all, we got with New Orleans Pelicans, and I'm going to reiterate this again. The pick situation is up for grabs, so don't go ballistic. But we got Paul George, Landry Shamet, and Zaire Smith from the Sixers going to the Pelicans. We got Joel Embiid, Josh Richardson, and a second round pick going to the Clippers from the Pelicans. The second round pick is from the Pelicans. And then we got JJ Redick, Drew Holiday, and Ivica Zubac from the Clippers going to the 76ers. So let me break it down for you guys here. So first, I'm going to go over the 76ers. So Ben Simmons is already a playmaker, and he's a very good defensive player. Very good defensive player. All right. The problem with the Sixers is everybody else. So we got Joel Embiid's playing his natural position. Al Horford is not playing his natural position. He's a center. Tobias Harris is not playing his natural position. He is a power forward, as I would know because he was on the Clippers. And so I feel like this would alleviate some of the issues if they trade Joel Embiid to the Clippers. So then Al Horford could slide in at the 5 spot. Tobias Harris could slide in at the 4 spot. And the Clippers are giving the 76ers insurance with Ivica Zubac. And then we got Drew Holiday playing the point guard position. And he's just another facilitator that the Sixers need. And he's also a very good 3-and-D player, one of the most underrated in the league. And we also got JJ Redick going in the Sixers. Now, we all know what happened last offseason. The Sixers didn't re-sign JJ Redick, and it came back to bite them. So here they're getting JJ Redick back, which is a very important 3-point presence that the Sixers need. Now for the Clippers, they need a center. Clippers need a center. Joel Embiid is arguably one of the best centers in the NBA. So this is a no-brainer for them. And then Josh Richardson is also a very nice 3-and-D player. Not above average with the three-pointers, but he brings it on the defensive end. And he is a capable 3-point shooter. And the second round pick, just looking at the value that the Clippers are giving up, I think I don't know. And then the Pelicans, they get Paul George. It's a superstar next to Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. That there really isn't a superstar yet. I mean, Zion can be a superstar, but that is to be seen. And Landry Shamet is a very capable 3-point shooter, and he's also a very young player as well. Something that the Pelicans, their team is full of young players. And then we got Zaire Smith from the Sixers. Compensation for a young player as well. Zaire Smith hasn't really played in the NBA yet, but he was taken a couple picks after the lottery in the 2018 draft, I believe. So he also has some value, and he's a young player as well. Some Pelicans are a young team, so I think this trade works out for all three sides. I'm going to go over some trades that do not include Paul George because honestly, I don't think they're going to trade Paul George to Clippers. So we're going to surround Paul George and Kawhi Leonard with some more peripheral pieces instead. So first trade we got here is Rodney McGruder and Landry Shamet for Mo Bamba. So the reasoning behind this is, the Magic need a shooter, or they just need guards in general. And Mo Bamba hasn't really played at all to his expectations, and he's behind the depth chart with Vucevic, Jonathan Isaac, Aaron Gordon. We got all these bigs in the Magic rotation, and Mo Bamba just hasn't had time to prove himself yet. And then we got the Clippers giving up Shamet, who's a very capable 3-point shooter, as I mentioned earlier. And that's what they've needed. He's a good 3-point shooter and a guard. And Ronnie Magruder is also a very nice defensive guard, and he's a nice piece to have on your team. So, yeah. Last but not least, this is the trade where I've added some free agent re-signings for the Clippers here. So we got a Chris Paul trade to the Clippers. I don't know if this is enough value, but we'll see. So we got Lou Williams, Pat Bev, Landry Shamet, and a sign-in trade for Montrezl Harrell to the Thunder in exchange for Chris Paul. And honestly, I've added two second round picks from the Clippers to the Thunder, but honestly, I feel like the pick situation should be going the other way. But I'm gonna reiterate again, the pick situation is up for grabs for all these. So I mean, it's not really cement, set in stone. But I also got the Clippers re-signing Marcus Morris Sr. to a 3-year contract here for 35.5 million, which I think they would do. And the most important re-signing for the Clippers that they can do this offseason is for JaMychal Green. And I'm giving him a 2-year, 16 million, so 8 million per year contract. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of these trades in the comments, and peace out.